Hi guys, welcome back to Finpact. We haven't covered Vechain for a while on my channel. Lots been happening with the crypto market crashes. I've covered this in my previous videos. Let's look at whether the fundamentals are still strong for Vechain, where we think the price is heading in the long run when we're back into a bull run or another rally up in this bull run if it's not over. So let's look at Vechain, where we think the price is heading, fundamental news, as well as some major news that has been happening. So let's take a look at Vechain and whether we're still bullish on it, because some of the fundamental news has been insane. So we're going to jump into that. But before we begin, you guys, don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button and that bell notification so that you get informed on when I release a video, as a lot of the information is time sensitive. So for a bit of background for those of you guys that are new to Vechain, Vechain was launched as an ERC20 token in 2015, but they expanded and they built the Vechain Thor blockchain, which is one of the fastest ones out there, low fees, fantastic bandwidth capacity, and much more. And because of all of this, it's used by real-world industries for supply chain tracking and management on their blockchain. Since all of that, they have amassed a massive following. As you can see on their Twitter, they have 555,000 followers, and they are deploying project after project on the Vechain Thor blockchain. But one of the major pieces of news recently that I'm excited about is Grayscale. This is a large asset manager. It's so large, they have $55 billion of assets under management, and they also invest in cryptocurrencies. Now notice the times that Grayscale loads up on cryptos is when we are in bearish periods, such as now, when you see market crashes, because that's when you see huge discounts on the major altcoins out there. If you take a look at the assets they are considering in terms of investing in, Vechain is one of them. You can see it's highlighted right over here alongside Cosmos. I'm super bullish on that. Elrond. I need to make a few videos on some of the others. Weave, amazing for cloud storage. So let's take a look at why they're considering investing now. Well, of course, one of the reasons is because of the price and where we're at in the market. You're never meant to invest when there are huge all-time highs. That's when you collect your profits. I've always said this. Looking at the price for Bitcoin, we're sitting at $38,521. I mean, this is so much less than its all-time highs that we saw in this bull run. If we click on the chart, the all chart, we saw the previous rally up, and we saw pretty much dead cat bounce after dead cat bounce after there. And obviously the altcoins followed suit in exaggerated manners. Vechain, especially that, the falls you see in altcoins that are not Bitcoin are even higher than Bitcoin because they tend to be more volatile. There's higher risk involved, and Vechain has pretty much met levels of where it was around the beginning of this bull run, leading up from October to around November time. So this is kind of the time period we're either going to see huge bull run rallies up or a bearish period for a few months before we see another new all-time high. Jumping into the risk level for Vechain, according to Investors Observer, they have given it a low risk rating, and this is based on their analysis. So right now it is currently on the low risk level, which is great because cryptos are always very risky. So this is why they've given it a low risk investment. It's more on the 24-hour chart. The shift occurred while volume is below its average level, but the coin's market cap has fallen. So what they're saying is that the price change in relation to the degree of the volume and the market cap changes gives Vechain a low risk rating. So the price has not changed as badly as the changes in the volume and market cap, which means the price is somewhat held strong. Even though we've seen a huge crash, it's held stronger than some of the other altcoins. Luna Crash, which gives us social intelligence for cryptos, has given it an alt rank of 47 out of 3,520 altcoins. But just take a look at this. The social engagement is up 2.4%. Although social dominance is down 49.5% around the beginning of this bull run, before we had a lot of new coins that people were talking about, before it became about Terra Luna, Cosmos, etc. Vechain was very dominant, but it has gone down in its ranking. Average sentiment is down. Pretty much everything is in the red, but shared links are up 54.2%. Bearish sentiment has also been up, which is expected. and the news volume has been up 140%. So some good, some bad. Let's take a look at something very important I want to cover. Vechain released its financial results. Now, I won't lie, usually I always look at financial results for stocks. With crypto, the sort of analysis behind it is different. It's a lot to do with sentiment, news, and things like that, rather than the actual financials and their asset base. But Vechain has reported them. So let's go into them and see what the outlook is like for Vechain going forward. So only on January 26th this year, Vechain talked about how they are sharing their latest financial report. This covers the entire fiscal year of 2021, which is what we want to look at anyway. So let's take a look at that. So they are going through a bit of a restructuring when it comes to the Vechain Foundation. They want to show a bit of a reconstructed financial report, and they also want to show how they're going to manage their finances, as well as how they're going to head into more of a growth phase, because they did lag behind towards the end of this bull run, well, towards the end of 2021 compared to what we saw before. So first of all, they're based in San Marino and Singapore, and they also have operational coverage from Luxembourg, France, Italy, Cyprus, United States, and across SEA. So basically, they are very much well established globally. And let's take a look at their balance sheet. So in terms of the balance sheet, they have crypto assets. So they have the basic ones, BTC, ETH, and obviously Vechain itself. And they have around $339 million worth of that in 2020. And now they have almost $1.3 billion worth, which is a great asset base. And in terms of 2021, they have $92.6 million worth, whereas they had only $4.8 million worth in 2020. So just look at those numbers grow in terms of just their core asset base, which is really, really reassuring. Now, their profit and loss, basically their revenues and costs, all come from these categories. The first is ecosystem development. Obviously, that costs, so getting partners to cooperate, exchanges, custodians, wallet providers, brokers, community events, ecosystem projects, cooperation. All of this involves, expenses in terms of communicating, business meetings, establishing good partnerships, providing services, then also the operation of it all, so the team cost, office rents, that all basically enable partner cooperations and the development of their blockchain as well. So they also have grants, and what the grants are basically doing is that they're incentivizing developers to build their projects on the Vechain blockchain. So after that, they've got technical operation. These are your classic business costs, travel spending, legal and finance, incredibly important for crypto, marketing, R&D. And this gives them a total cost of $18.6 million, and they pay 80% of this using crypto assets. And as we know, they have $1.4 billion worth in crypto assets in USD level, so they can more than make these payments to ongo the development of the Vechain Thor ecosystem. So jumping into something that I really like about Vechain is that they have a focus on sustainability. I mean, this is incredibly important, especially when we look at Bitcoin and the amount of energy consumption that takes place because of the mining, and how Tesla stopped accepting Bitcoin as payments because of the negative impacts it would have on the environment. Well, Vechain is actually deemed as one of the most eco-friendly public blockchains in the world, and this is CTI verified. And they compare this to Bitcoin mining. So for example, if we look at Vechain Thor's total carbon emissions per year, it's 4.58 metric tons. And to summarize, this is for the entire year, the carbon emission. Whereas Bitcoin, well, they take just for 2.4% of mining one BTC, it gives you this much metric tons. So what Vechain basically emits in a whole year, Bitcoin does in just mining 2.4% of one BTC. Just see the difference there, it's enormous. And then secondly, this is the energy consumption by Vechain per year, and that is the same energy consumption for the whole year that Vechain uses is only for 4.3 Bitcoin transactions. That's the electricity consumption. So if you want to basically process 4.3 worth of Bitcoins and you want to send them across, it uses the entire energy consumption, electricity consumption, as Vechain does in a whole year, and 51 for Ethereum. And then actually Vechain Thor is even greener than Cardano. You guys know I'm super bullish on Cardano, but this part Vechain is winning on. And they also launched a really cool carbon footprint software as a service platform adopted by loads of premium brands such as Yak Wool Brand, Showcase, partner of H&M, COS. And this is really important because this is essentially a blockchain-enabled sustainability solution that allows you to see, well, companies to see the different actions that take place in the supply chain, and they can figure out how to make it more sustainable each step of the way because they have a record of it on the blockchain. So as for price predictions, it's difficult to give you an accurate one because of the fact that, number one, we are currently in a bearish sentiment in the market. It is a huge market crash, as you know, and if we are to see rallies up, well, we definitely will. We just don't know when, whether it's in this bull run or whether this bull run is over, whether it's in the next bull run, when the next Bitcoin halving takes place, or probably in 2023 end to 2024. Then I believe that from the all-time high we saw here, which was around 25 cents to 26 cents Vechain, I believe we can see a 5 to 10x rally up, especially because the next bull run will be even longer than this one. But if we see a rally up in this bull run, if Bitcoin starts surpassing its previous all-time high, then I do believe we could see potentially maybe a 50 cent to a, on the overconfident side, a $1 Vechain, but that's more likely in the next bull run. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button and that bell notification so that you get informed on when I release a video. And also, I will be off this week, so I will recommence posting videos next week and a lot more crypto stuff on the way. I want to blend in with a bit of stocks because it's important to hedge your portfolio, not have 100% crypto. And I love growth stocks especially, and tech stocks and EV stocks. They're kind of fun to look at. They have a great story behind them. So yeah, I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.